23 things I've learned in 2023 and still continuing to expand this learning throughout my years. Number 1, focusing on myself. I started practicing to go within and actually focusing on me. Learning to be okay to put myself first and not feeling guilty about it. And it's okay and it's not selfish to focus on your own well-being. How can we show up for others, right, if we aren't really showing up for ourselves? Number 2, don't rush things. Everything flows in perfect timing. There are things that takes time, patience, and practice. As much as I want to get things done, moving, improving, and growing, I realized that it's okay to slow down and to take a steady pace and take moments to pause and ask myself if what I'm doing is out of anxiousness or is it out of inspiration. And whenever I feel like I'm being left behind, I keep reminding myself that I am not. Because things eventually flows through me in the perfect of times, and also through you guys, whoever it is watching this, because we all have our own timelines, and I keep reminding myself to never ever compare my own progress with others, only myself and the past versions of me. Number 3, I am not my thoughts. I hear this often online with the self-help gurus and community, and as cliche as it sounds, but yes, we're not our thoughts. Everything is momentary and everything flows and it goes. I realized in the past, unconsciously, I identified every thought that I have or thing that I have picked out outside of me. I started to treat my thoughts gently and just letting them be without any judgment made me practice and enhance patience for myself. And then it eventually made me practice patience towards other people as well. Number 4, learning to receive. If you have nothing on you at the moment and someone gave you something, may it be material or not, I'm learning to be okay with receiving and being grateful that I am able to receive things. Even if I don't have anything in me to give out in return immediately, but just pure gratitude. I realize as a giver my whole life, I'm grateful to experience unconditional love from others, and being reminded that whatever gift they had given to me, I realized that I know I deserve that, and that also reflected within me to be a reminder when I receive good things to never question it, but to know that I deserve this goodness. We all deserve this goodness in life. Number 5, embracing the uncomfortable alone. It was easy to lean on to a friend or someone for comfort when I feel uncomfortable with my own emotions. But I learned that everything is not about me and other people have their own things going on. That's why I'm learning that it's okay to be uncomfortable with myself. Being okay and accepting myself as I am and allowing emotions to flow and process them. As I'm learning, I became a friend to myself in times of loneliness and feeling like other people can't understand me. At least I'm learning to understand myself and embrace every versions of me, even the ones I don't like. It gave me more patience to myself and eventually to others as well. Number 6, learning to manage my expectations. Expectations. This one. I learned to let them go. For letting them go, create this space for exciting surprises that adds up to that sprinkle on top of our cupcake of our lives. It's still inevitable to expect things from time to time. It has its good, but a little too much expectations can bring some heavy disappointments to ourselves and to also others. I learned to just manage them lightly, treat them gently, and if things aren't met, it's okay. We can pick ourselves up and keep on going. Number 7, letting things be. There are things that are out of our control. As with the self-improvement people are also telling us these days, the only ones we can control is ourselves. And it's true, and let outside circumstances be as they are, and we can manage ourselves within. But I also believe of letting yourself be as well. If you let people be, you can also let yourself be. In the healthiest form of way, of course. When you feel your emotions, feel them really. Shout, cry, talk to someone you trust, sing, dance, laugh, do whatever that makes you happy. And after letting yourself be, I came to a realization that whatever it is I am experiencing, may it be outside or inside of me, I remind myself that I am enough and came to a conclusion of self-acceptance and loving oneself unconditionally. I guess that's how I learned unconditional love. Not only from loving others, but also loving myself. Number 8, knowing what I want. Sometimes I forget what I want. I'm just a human being. Sometimes my memory is like a memory of a goldfish. Sometimes my memory is like a memory of a supercomputer from time to time, but not always. Anyways, sometimes it's okay if we forget what we want, because sometimes everything is happening around us all at once. It's also a nice thing to ask and remind ourselves to ask ourselves what we truly want. It reminds us of what we want to do in this world and leads us to who we really are and who we want to become. It also reminds us to enjoy life wherever we might be. Eventually, it's a stepping stone to living in the present moment. Number 9, being okay with being lost. It's okay if you feel lost. If you don't know what to do, it's never a shame to feel like this. Because I learned that this can be an opportunity to create space, roads, do the things you want, and learning to expand things that can lead you to your destination. And also learning to have fun when you don't know what to do. You know, sometimes those moments brings this certain happiness that I'm unable to explain through words, but I think other people might know what I mean. Anyways, it's never a shame to feel lost or disconnected. You can always do something. You can even ask for help when you needed to, or reconnect with people you've forgotten in the past, or like reconnect with some parts of yourself that you forgot. It's okay. And if you're feeling lost, trust that it will always be okay. And you never know, it might be some part of your story that is you know, aha moment. Anyways, number 10. Doing nothing is not boring. In this age of social media, everything seems so exciting. Hooked up on our phones, watching for the latest trends, seeing other people's lives, and we tend to always want exciting new things. I'm like that, and there's no shame on that. But one thing I've realized with challenging myself of doing nothing and just sitting quietly, even sitting with my uncomfortable feelings and thoughts, I started to appreciate the stillness, silence, the things I have, and realize that gratitude is the key to things. And how fun it is to just see things as they are and myself as I am. For nothing is something at all. And all I can say out of this is that I gained peace. And, I want to continue to gain peace, to create peace for myself. And actually, ideas started to pop up too, frequently. Motivation started to rise up, and I started to feel more relaxed and appreciate the little things. Especially when you're an artist, I think doing nothing is something. It's an important thing to do as well. Motivation started to rise up, and for when we learn to appreciate the little things, we also learn to recognize the big ones. Number 11. Creating time for people who matter. As much I created a lot of time for myself this year, I also learned to still make time for people who matter the most to me. Balancing my relationship with myself and other people I care about makes my life more beautiful and in harmony. Number 12. Balance is one of the most important recipes in life. As the Stoics said, too much of something is not good for our health. This comes to everything. I realized I want to make life worthwhile. Learning how to balance things makes it so amazing and freeing. Just imagine riding a bike and how you can feel the breeze touching your skin when you ride it, and you need to balance it to work, and after balancing it, your ride goes smoothly with the wind kissing your cheeks and having this feeling of bliss. That's how it feels like. Life in balance is a life enhanced. Number 13. Getting back up. One of the things I've learned to appreciate about us humans are how capable we all are of being resilient. Getting back up when things crumble and keeping it going, even if it's hard. With this, you also practice the art of consistency to continue life and live it. Number 14. The importance of hope. There are times I have confidence with me and my own faith, but sometimes there are moments when we face challenges and faith somehow loses its power. And I realized not really, because faith left us hope in times of great tribulation. There's nothing wrong with hoping on things, hoping for things to get better, hoping for things to come, yearning, and all that jazz. It doesn't mean you don't believe on yourself. It means you believe even if you don't feel like it. One key element of faith is hope. And hope is a sign of our hearts to still keep on holding to that faith we have. even if it feels so far away with things we're experiencing outside of us. Number 15. Not everything is about me. As much as we all embrace the main character of our own lives thing, I learned that it's not always about me. That the people in my life have their own lives to live, and giving them that respect and boundary reminds me of to still be compassionate towards others, even if I treat myself as my first priority and the start of my own life. Number 16, investing in myself. I learned to not just invest on myself financially and materially, but also investing in knowledge, experiences, and time to me is one important thing to keep on learning and doing. Number 17, it is okay not to be okay. When times get tough, it's challenging sometimes to turn dark times into bright sunshines. I learned how to embrace the darkest of times and still be positive about it by treating it gently. Embracing the feelings of not being okay made me realize that it really is okay. I'm learning that it also passes by, such as happy and okay moments passes by. It's the human experience to see things through different lenses and perspectives. That also applies to emotions and feelings. We never really are stagnant with feelings, no matter how we stand on our ground. And I'm talking to myself because sometimes I still catch myself standing on my grounds. Anyways, everything changes, and that's the bright side of it. So if you're not feeling okay, it's totally fine, for it shall pass, and you don't have to also force yourself to change. Just let yourself be. Let it be. And then just wait for the magical moment to happen, that shift. Anyways, number 18. Love is all around. I learned that whenever I feel like I have to seek love from outside, it already exists within me. And right after that realization, I can see that love is all around me. It may sound cheesy or whatever, but with everything around me, with every living thing in this planet, I came to feel how life itself is love. But most especially, love exists within us. We are all love. That's all. Number 19. You can never really judge someone, even yourself. What I realized with this is that we can never really fully judge someone. When we come to pause and think about it, some of those people we judge, we have similar traits with, or sometimes it serves as a reflection upon us and just comes out differently within us in every different scenarios, since everyone is different. That's why, as much as possible, I try to manage the petty judgments I have in my head. What happened in me with that is I also stopped judging myself when I experience things, because that's what I'm learning about with loving myself. It's not to overly be harsh or critical, and not labeling myself with things that I don't actually want for me. We're all not perfect, and as much as I can say that let's stop judging ourselves, from judging. I can never fully do it, for it is one of our inborn instincts as humans. And there are good sides to judgment. It also takes practice to have positive judgments and transformable ones. And what matters is our intentions also. Let's try to just be a little kinder and gentler to ourselves and others. Number 20. Take breaks. In this world of everything moving and always on the go, I learned to chill out, slow down, and take a break when my body needs it, as well as my mind from overconsumption with online information. And I also realized that reading too much books is also overconsumption with information as well. It feels good and refreshing to reset the mind and body from time to time so we won't feel so burnt out. We're almost done. Number 21. Let things crumble and fall apart. Let things fall apart and crumble as much as I can save things and try to fix them. Sometimes letting things be and accepting it feels lighter to me. It bought me an opportunity to rebuild and create new things for myself. And it's so magical for me to create new things from scratch. And I just love the work I put into things for me, for I embrace myself as an artist of my own life. We all are artists of our own lives, so let's keep on creating things. Okay, I have had a lot of life lessons I learned this 2023. Now, here are the 2 things I've learned with being bored. Number 22. I learned how to do embroidery. I was curious with this one, and my first impression about embroidery is how graceful it looks. And also, because I'm a Bridgerton addict, I wanted to embody that embroidery thing Lady Bridgerton was doing. And I saw how elegant it looked like. And then I realized it is elegant to do. And I didn't have much hobbies back then, and I started to explore new stuff. And once I learned embroidery, I realized how time it takes and how much patience you can practice out of it. It's like making a painting from scratch. But this one is also art. You're just using threads. And you can never really fully rush embroidery, except if you have a machine. But if you do it traditionally, it really takes and eats up a lot of your time. And you can't really fully rush it because things get tangled up inside. Like us humans sometimes when we rush things. Anyways, and the repetition to organize the threads, it really takes patience. And I'm still practicing. I'm still not like an expert with embroidery, but I love doing it. And I really enjoy doing it because after finishing one piece, I feel so proud of myself. And sometimes I feel like I'm a grandma of some sort, because sometimes I consider myself an old soul. Anyways, number 23, the last one. I learned to take reading more seriously by improving my annotating game. Back then, I have this reading challenge with myself, and most of the times I want to immediately finish reading a book. But this time I took a lot of time for myself to just, take it slowly and digest everything you read and relish all the words and also have this some sort of reflection out of it, and also hear about myself, not only the author. And when it comes to annotating, I just tend to just highlight the stuff back then of the things that I want to remember, and the things that are impactful for me. And in the past, I tried to keep up with my reading journal, but I tend to forget it. This year, I learned to take reading seriously and learning different styles of annotating, and I had fun with it. And I just discovered other things about myself with doing this. And I can also see some of the potentials that I want to expand more and deep dive inside of me, and also deep dive about other topics and insights. And I can see that I was more active when I started doing this, and I was more consistent with my reading and also reflecting on what I read. And somehow I discovered that my understanding has expanded and is continuing to expand, of course. And that's all for everything that I've learned in 2023. Oh my gosh. I think I will upload this late. And thank you to whoever it is watching this for being here, for being patient, and for listening to me. Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want. And, have a great day.